Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. This is a watch we've been waiting for a long time. I've had more requests for this than just about any watch we've ever reviewed here, and it has finally arrived. This, folks, is the Limfo LEM12 Pro in here, and it's a doozy. We're going to take a quick look at it. But first, I'd like to share with you that you can pick this up from Banggood. They're the folks that sent it out for us. And check the show notes because we got discount pricing all over the place on this one. If you're watching it live, this video now, in Thanksgiving week, we've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday and the holidays coming up. So really good time to be shopping for watches. You've got the Android 10 Face Unlock. It's a 1.6-inch screen, 4G communications, everything on this one. And here are the specs. Now, we'll tell you, there are only 3 Android 10 watches in the world right now. We've already reviewed the Z-Blaze Thor 6 and the really big Kospet Prime 2, and got those reviews up. In addition, I've got a review up that's comparing all 3 watches, this one and plus those 2, and all of them sport 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, but they have different screen sizes. This is 1.6-inch IPS with a 400 by 400 resolution screen to it in pixels, and it's got a 900 milliamp hour battery with about, they say, 2 days usage time. My testing has been about 1 day, about 24 hours. Some of that being pretty heavy by using GPS and whatnot. You got support for all of these different functions like a typical Android watch, which we'll take a look at. Inside the box are a couple of things, a screwdriver and a couple of extra screws. Good you have that, show you why. And a charging dock, which is your basic 4-pin connector, magnetic coupler, which on the back of the watch attaches like so. You got this really nice carbon fiber here, little hole here, which turns out is a pressure relief hole to help you with the audio coming out of the speaker, which is somewhere here. There it is. It's on this side. And of course over here, the camera on the other side and the microphone. You got 2 buttons, the charging connector here, the SIM card held in with the screw. That's why you need the screwdriver, so you can put the SIM card in. Really strong connection. Holds almost without jiggling it. It'll hold it nicely. A front camera, a side camera, and lots of covers. Want you guys, when you get your watch, whether it's this one or whatever one you get, to make sure you catch all of the covers. Can you see the screen protector underneath there in the reflection? This is just a piece of film over the screen protector, which is over the screen. So you want to remove that. You want to check the cameras. I'm not seeing a film over the cameras. Sometimes they have them. Don't get in there and dig to try to make sure you got one off because they can be scratched. But just look at it. And on the bottom, you want to double check the heart rate sensor, which you can see we do have a cover on that one as well. So we'll pop that one off too. Okay, once you got all your things off, you got the bands, quick disconnect if you want to, and charge it up. And while you and I charge it up, we're going to take a look at what else is in the box. There's an operations guide in Chinese and English. I'll freeze that here so you can read it if you want to at your leisure off of YouTube. And then I've got the manual, and we're going to page through that. Notice it's the Pro. And we got Chinese at the beginning and English in the middle. It's a basic manual, just get you started. All of these watches work the same. And I will tell you, the first one that came in was the, oh, there, here you go, about putting in the SIM card and everything, was the Prime 2. And on the Prime 2, because Android 10 was brand spanking new, I spent a lot of time going through each and every one of the functions there. We're going to highlight those today in the LEM12 Pro, but I'm not going to go into the same level of depth. So if you want a deeper understanding of changes within Android 10 over Android 7, then make sure you watch at least the technical part of that review. But if you're interested overall in this watch and what it can do for you, we are ready to start. I'm going to clear everything out and turn it on. I'm going to whet your appetite about why you really may want the LEM12 Pro. I'm going to do it by comparing it with the LEM12. Here it is, side by side. They look identical. I'm going to turn them both on, and we'll let them boot up. While they're booting up, I'd like to mention to you that the LEM12, the original, shipped with a special 900 milliamp hour power bank, a dock that you could slap on the back and use for charging. Had a little charging light here, USB connection, and boom, you could charge the watch up. The LEM12 Pro does not come with the power bank. However, you can notice that the watches are identical in the back. Carbon fiber, screw, they're 100% identical. And therefore, you can take the independently available 900 milliamp hour power bank and pick up the LEM12 Pro and connect them together. And you can use the power bank to charge the watch. Now, I did a lot of use of this right now, and it's about halfway down, which is great. I usually show them to you at 100%. You get to see this one. Make note of it. It's 53. Let's see how it does as it goes through the rest of the video. And of course, right now, it's sitting on the power bank, so it's charging up rather than down. This puts this watch ahead of all the rest, in my opinion, in terms of, isn't that cool? In terms of an Android 10 watch. None of the others, and there's only 2 others, have the power bank available. And honestly, for an Android watch to squeeze out all the power you want to do all the things you need to do, it's good to have an extra couple of these. So in the show notes down below, I'll have not only the link to the watch, but also a link to the power bank and great stocking stuffer for Christmas to toss in 1 or 2 of these things. Or an additional designer band. Notice the band that's sitting here on the LEM12 didn't come with that. It came with this band, basically. But this has been upgraded. We have done a complete review of how you can get custom bands for these watches as well, and I'll have links to take you over to pick out whatever extra bands you'd like. I mention that because the holiday seasons is a great time to accessorize. Not just this watch, but any watch with a new band. All right, we have it turned on. Let's set this guy over here for now and walk through the brand new Lemfo LEM12 Pro. It's got a brand new watch face that starts up that's animated and touchable. You ever heard of a tesseract? A tesseract is supposedly a graph in 3 dimensions of 4-dimensional space. You know, you've done your XY plots, which plots 2 axes that you can look at in 3D. Well, this is really similar to a graphical representation of a tesseract, and it's touchable. You can switch. I love it. I love it. I can't read the time worth shucks, but it's it's a really fun graphic. If I get it just right, and it is sensitive for this, I can hold and press, and I can switch to another really cool. I'm only going to show you 2 right now. We'll play with the rest of the watch faces later. This is stock out of the box, folks. I haven't done anything more than put it on Wi-Fi and get it set up for you. But this is bubbles that you can touch and play with. Whoops. Okay. Got active on that. Obviously, when you touch it and move, you're going to change things, but you can play with the active face. Let's go through those. Swiping down, you saw it's there, and then it flakes out and in and whatnot. It's a T-Mobile SIM in here. Normally says 4G. This is Bluetooth tethered to the phone to the YWatch 2 app. And I got some battery testing data I'm going to present to you in a minute where I've really exercised the heck out of this thing with all this stuff turned on. GPS, cellular data, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all of it. This is silent mode, but not for turning on and off the watch. That's buried. It's something different. You're going to want to know this if you want to turn your watch off at night and not have it like ring and make that shutdown sound or startup sound. Different, but this will quiet the watch otherwise. And this, of course, is your twist your wrist to see the time in airplane mode. So we've seen all that before. That hasn't changed. Swipe over to the side. Yeah, it does look sluggish, doesn't it? Well, we can't go any further. Used to be you'd have a cleanup thing and weather and all kinds of stuff. You only have that one and that one at this level. There, now it's coming in with the 4G. So it's a bit different. Swipe over this way. That's your notifications area. And you see the number of dots up here? Those are the different pages. Here's our watch face. Here's our app drawer. And here's our fitness section. Now, the cool thing about this, it's just like all the fitness ones we've already seen on the Android watches, except this one's the more advanced one, the really more advanced one, because here you're looking at the pictures in the background, but when you get down, I know I'm jumping around, but let's get down to fitness and show you that if you go into the actual fitness app itself, you have different icons. This is new in Android 10 in the new fitness app. They're two separate things. The fitness app is kind of separate from that, and it's available to be updated through firmware updates, but it's not on the other watches. It is on the LEM12 Pro. Maybe that's a good thing that it was the last one to get here, because you got all of these. You can do walking, running, cycling, especially cycling, because that can't be based on pedometer, and usually you only get your calories burned, because you can't compute distance from pedaling like you can with a pedometer for running and walking. But here we go. We've got outdoor bike as a capability. And when we go over here, you can see I've got some of my previous activities in here. And it's also mixed with a little bit of Chinese, not totally translated yet, but getting there. It gives you all of the data, including what it's picked up in kilometers per hour. Have not been able to change that yet to miles per hour. But it's got the data in there that you will get when you integrate it with the GPS. The historical track, when you go in there, shows you your track against the Google Maps of the whole track of what you just completed. So that's sweet. And you come over one more, there's 3 dots here. That's where you activate the GPS integration with fitness. Very important if you plan on doing any kind of fitness activity and you want accurate data relying on GPS, that you get a watch that has that integration. You'll see in my other reviews, we always talk about that. Most of them don't do it. They're still using the old version of the fitness app. So when you swipe up now, you get a different way of seeing your step count, calories, and distance traveled for the day, and the ability to come in here and, oh, here you go, set your system to imperial or metric and confirm that. Okay, and now you got your weight and height in inches and pounds, male or female. I usually select female because sometimes the watches will do period tracking and sometimes not, but it'll never do it if you're a guy. If I swipe up from here, I got the last several days information in here with totals and whatnot. So all of what we used to have before on the bottom row is integrated into one icon, which clears this one up to be used for the music player and this one for the weather. And when you're tied in with Wi-Fi and you connect in, you'll get it updated for weather in your area. Okay, that's all of that. Then you come over here. There's the app drawer we danced into, and of course then the fitness section as well. So let's look at the apps quickly. Phone, contacts, SMS are all related to having a SIM card in the watch. This one does have SIM. Yes, it works. It works well. The speaker is nice and loud. You can handle phone calls without a problem. Text messaging as well. But you do need a SIM card. You cannot Bluetooth tether this to your phone and make phone calls that way using your phone SIM or answer calls coming into your phone on your watch. That feature doesn't work in Android 10 or even Android 7. So you got to put a SIM in if you're going to do that. We got our settings we'll come back to. The watch face store is the same thing about getting into available watch faces as we used to do by pressing and holding on the home watch face and scrolling all the way to the end and hitting a little plus sign. You guys remember that have been with us for a while? You can scroll through all kinds of faces here. You can pick any of them that you like. You hit the download arrow. It's going to download it and just put a check mark there. And the way to get rid of them now is you come in here and you uncheck them. But if you want that one, it's there and you just simply come back and now that's the watch face that's active. With me? Okay. That all happened in this whole new watch face store. Like I said, I'm just going to dance around on Android 10. Go to the other Prime 2 review if you want to see a whole bunch of stuff. Desktop settings, here's again where you dial select, which is the same as pressing and holding and checking all of the other ones. You got these different ways of representing the apps on the screen. This is the first one. This is another one. There, in a straight line. This is without words, just the icons in rows. And, oh, I just did it. I just got out of it. Okay, there they all are in rows. And by the way, I can go back over and get into that, or I can just simply long press here, he says. And, come on. There we go. Now I can go and show you the fourth one. So there's two ways of getting into it. This one, of course, is the one where you have a clock in the middle and all of your different apps circle the clock. But you got to know what the pictures mean because the words aren't there. Now, I typically like to run in that first one with the curve. Yeah, it is awkward and doesn't seem to, you got to do it a few times to get in there. We're going to come back to this one. No, we're not. Okay, there, that's the curved one, the first dot, that's the one I want, that's the one we were working with, and we were in desktop settings for the menu style. Oh, okay, I did tap the bottom one. This is the paging through, so let me play with this with you. Notice how this is going from page to page to page, okay? If I come in here and I change from default to pushing, yeah, that's going to go like that. So you see how it's pushing across? It changes the look of how it goes between the pages, switching. Background position, inner square box. Let's try that one. So it's kind of a box with the watch face being the central one. We'll do one more and then move on. Because I didn't do this on the other one. I didn't know what the heck these things were when I first did the Prime 2. So now I can show you these. Okay, here's windmill. Well, all right. I guess it's going around like this, like if it were a windmill. And that's desktop settings. You got a browser. The cameras we'll get back to, the gallery to show the pictures, your basic calendar, heart rate, alarm clock, music player, it's an inside recorder, and your file manager, which you drop into there and shows you that, believe it or not, this is amazing, 64 gigabytes. You can put your whole audio library on there and a few movies and still have room. I got 51 gigabytes left available after using it up with a system, operating system, and all that stuff. Of course, weather, optimization now. This is a different area where you do a few different things like cleaning things up and screen locking and your face unlock. And we've got a great video a long time ago when it first came out about how to set up face unlock. I think on, was it the original Prime? Might have been one of those. Anyway, you can find it here in our channel. And you always got to put a screen lock first and then a face unlock after that. And here's a word of warning for you. When you set up your screen lock and then go in and do your face unlock, don't forget what you used as your screen unlock. Because if you do, you can't undo anything. You can only unlock it with your face. You can't turn the face unlock off because you have to enter your screen lock. And if you can't remember your screen lock, you can't disable the screen lock to undo the face lock. You can't do anything. Fortunately, on mine and one of my watches, I totally forgot. I've spent hours trying to guess it. And it turned out it was the same pattern that I had shown in a video of how to do the face unlock. And I went, oh my gosh, did I leave it? And I did. I did that same pattern. I was able to finally unlock it and delete it. And oh, I was so happy after that. So don't forget your screen lock if you do that. Third-party apps, the system work mode, normal or performance. Leave it on normal if you can. Performance is really for high-end gaming and whatnot, and the watch will probably get kind of warm, and your battery will run down quickly, and the thing will lock up on you. The App Store is not the Google Play Store, but the App Store that used to have like Facebook and WhatsApp. It doesn't anymore. You're on the internet. Oh, now it does. Well, you'll see in the other videos that these weren't there. It only had one thing, a game. So I guess Android 10 is being improved as we speak. All right, this just has Facebook and WhatsApp. The other one had a game of some sort that you could download. So it's in process. Fitness we've looked at. Google Play Store and Maps and the OK trigger for Google is all in there. You can do Face Unlock directly from here. I don't know why you'd want it there, but again, you get in there, it's going to make you go through setting up the pattern lock. And then Assistant is not your Google Assistant, although you can download Google Assistant from the Google Play Store and set it all up. And I think you can even integrate it directly without even having to download it, but good idea to download it and run it that way. But this is where you connect to the YWatch 2 app. You use this QR code. When the app asks you and gives you a circle, you highlight it, and that'll start the connecting process. In case you missed that at the very beginning when you set the watch up, where it asks you for your language and then it invites you to set up the tethering. If you move past that, this is where you do it. These are all things that you can do once you have it connected. Sending files. You can even do remote text entering on your phone to enter into a field on the watch, which would be great if you could do that for your Wi-Fi password, but you got to be on Wi-Fi before you can. I don't know, maybe you Bluetooth tether to the app and then you could put in your Wi-Fi password. I haven't tried that. That's a good one. Yeah, maybe try that, guys. See if that'll work. Because otherwise, it's like crazy to try to, especially if you've got numbers and symbols, to try to hit this 18-letter password for your router. Oh, amazing. All right, so that's it. Those are all of the basic apps that come with it. And we've got settings and camera, right? Let's play with the camera. I'm going to show it to you because it's right. Oh, it's on front face. Hi! Wow! Oh, you handsome devil, you. Ooh! There's a nice picture. I can touch this and change it from video to camera. And check this out. I could touch this. And here I get a whole bunch of things, the last one of which is how I rotate it to change the camera over here, and I'll take that picture like that. And so you got that, and you've got all these other kind of settings that you can do, color, temperature, location information, scene. You can choose a scene if you want to, and you got other things as well when you get in here. Your white balance or your contrast and your illumination. Oh, it's like a regular camera app. Okay, we already took that picture. Notice I don't have a sample picture that's on here to show you, but if I swipe, I bring them up. And here is what I wanted to show you on the cameras now. This is the LEM12 Pro. This is the side camera. And I can only, throw it away. I remember this now. I cannot, in the camera mode, show you information. I have to get out of this, go into the gallery, and open it up. In the gallery, and now I got buttons at the bottom that I can show you details. These pictures are 1920 by 2560. Multiply that out. What is it? 5 megapixels, right? So the side-facing camera is 5 megapixels. If I go to my, oh, you beautiful guy. Can I zoom in on you? Oh, I love you. Somebody said, will you quit saying you don't look good on camera? I was like, okay, there you go. There you go. You want to see handsome? Check this out. Whoa. 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 Yeah, you can go way in there, but double tap just gives you one-time zoom. And front camera is a sad 480 by 640. Now, in the comparison video I do between this one and the other two, the only 3 Android watches, I make mention that this is supposed to be 5 megapixel cameras, but that the front one is dumbed down really, really low, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because, first of all, your selfies, it's visible, it's okay, even zoomed in, it's not that bad for seeing it. And if you're going to actually use this for video chat, Facebook live streaming, things like that, it's better to have a low resolution front camera, low bandwidth, just pushing enough bits through that whoever's watching on the other end on their phone is going to be able to have a good conversation with you and not be streaming 5 billion bits or something, with every frame. Anyway, Yeah. They gave you a much smaller camera here. This is not a prototype. This is actually coming in directly like you would from Banggood, as if it was purchased. And my agents put the order through and send it out here. So I'm getting exactly what you're going to get. But just be known that that's going to be down on you. Say, oh, I'm going to get the Z-Blaze Thor 6 then. At least they're honest. Yeah, no, they're not. The only one that's honest is the Prime 2 with the 13 megapixel camera. Look at the comparison videos. And anyway, yeah, you to be clear, you're getting a 5 megapixel side camera, which is pretty decent, not up interpolated to 8 megapixels. The ones that say they're 8, and you get the dimensions on them and they're 8, they're actually the same camera module, 5 megapixels, but they've done some little science in there to buffer in some extra bits so the picture looks like it's 8 megapixels. A lot of tricks go on that you got to know about in the background. It's a decent camera. It's a okay front-facing selfie streaming camera, but beyond that, I wouldn't really do much more with photography with it. You can put other camera apps like Open Camera in here and some other ones and play around with photography because they do interface with the cameras, and you've seen me do that on other reviews. We went through everything except for the settings. A couple of more things to point out in settings, and then we'll leave out of this. Your network setup is basically the same. It does do a nice job of telling you your data usage. So if you're on a plan with cellular, you can monitor that. And you can do hotspot and tethering with Android 10. You've got here in your display the ability to turn on night mode, which is this really fun thing. You turn this on. Let me see if I can crank the intensity up. Make it really beige. You see how it turns kind of a brown beige color? So at night, it's going to be softer on your eyes, not that bright blue-white. But when you get back to your watch faces, come on you, they're going to be all filtered the same way. So they're going to have that funny sheen to them as well. It's like a colored brown filter that goes over all of it. But the nice thing is you're able to set this thing up to turn on and off automatically at sunset if you want to. That's one of the features that you can do. Where did I go? Display. Yeah, we were in display and bounced out of it. And night light schedule. So you can schedule at certain times or sunset to sunrise. And the nice thing is you have that scalability, intensity, and I put it pretty much to the lowest because just slightly off of blue is good enough for me. But for the review, I'm going to turn it off so we can come right back to white and finish talking about it. You have dark theme. When you turn that on, apps that are designed to work on dark theme will be black with white writing, just like this, instead of white with black writing. It's really good at night. So a few neat features there. Few more neat features here and there. Location services. You have a little more control of stuff in here. You get into Google, and this is where you can set up a lot of different things with your master Google account. So if you turn off things you don't want done on the watch, you're turning it off on everything. Your phone, your TV, anything that's linked to your Google address. Yeah, that's a master setting, so be careful with it. Your overall system stuff for languages and date and everything like that. That's all about the watch and all of the different apps. And coming back here to press and hold, we can get into a variety of different watch faces. I want to take you back to the very beginning. Kind of a fun scroll there. We showed you those two. Here's some standard ones. This is a kind of fun one where you have the seconds counting in the middle. And then you get into some of these that are kind of more traditional watch faces. So we'll put it on that to put it on. Give you a walkthrough of how it looks. I really am happy with the LEM12 Pro. It hits a sweet spot that the band is like rubberized on the bottom, and it's got this nice leather look on the top. You can get brown or black. It fits nicely. It looks nice. It's a really sweet watch. You got the speaker on the side, variety of watch faces, and with all of that memory and all of that RAM available, it's endless what you can do. It's literally like having an earlier phone right on your wrist. You got the power bank that you can buy separately. Again, it comes with the LEM12. So if you have an old LEM12 and you're thinking of updating to the Pro, this might be a good time to do it. You've already got the dock, and the dock is going to be usable for charging. And depending on the width of your arm, you literally could slap it on the dock. This is kind of weird, guys, but you could wear it with the dock on your arm. I know, corny. Okay, we're down to 40%. What was it before? How long have we been running? And I'm going to be doing editing. Really hard to tell. Let me tell you the real story about battery power. Are you ready? Let's see. Here we go. This is the document. I did a couple of tests. I started at 100% after 9 hours overnight with the SIM and GPS on. After 9 hours, it only dropped to 91%. A couple of hours later, it was 88%. So I stopped that test because I needed to play with the watch. So a second test, wearing it during the day, I ran it a little bit. I did an hour of fitness and whatnot. So after 8 hours, it had dropped to 65%. And after 9, it dropped to 58. So no use at all, but just standby. Drops tiny little bit, and it drops 40%, 45%. I'm sorry, 58. Okay, about. Anyway, you got 58% left after 9 hours. And then I left it on overnight for another 14 hours, so a total of 23 hours it had dropped down to 18%. Charging now, when I charge it, 1 hour charged it to 77%, and in an hour and 15 minutes I had it charged back up to 100%. Now, as far as the cameras go, I also wanted to show you some video results. So the LEM12 Pro photos, the front camera, 480 wide by 640 high. Video is 640 wide by 480 high. They flip. Threw me for a loop there. But the side camera now is giving you 1920 by 2560, and here you get 1920 wide, but it's scaled down to 1080 high. So 1080 is FHD, right? HD is 720, and FHD is 1080 by 1920, and so you're losing some of the pixelization available when you're doing video. But there it is. And then if you take a photo while you're in video mode by touching the screen, the pictures are here the same orientation as the video. And here the picture is 720 by 1280. And that's a picture in video, separate from a picture by itself. Way more than you wanted to know, right? And here we go. There's that boot charge thing I just told you about from the other sheet. Okay, I know. More than you wanted to know, but some of you want to know, so there you go. Banggood. Thank you, Banggood, for sending all these incredible watches out. These guys are super, and they're really working hard to get things to you fast. Case in point, I'm in the United States, but this product is warehoused in Bahrain, and from there goes through Europe and over to the East Coast, to the West Coast, and so forth, to get it to me a couple of days faster than if they shipped it from China direct. So I really believe in these guys. They've been good for me for almost 6 years now, coming up in January. This channel's been on. So please take advantage of our links in the show notes, the discounts we can get you, and it helps us out on this channel if you place your order through Banggood for this one or any watch. Use the link to get over to Banggood, and if you'd rather look at the Prime 2 and buy that one, surf on over there and do it. It would still have the thread of connection, so they know you watched the channel and got your information from here. Thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for all the support. Compare this with the original LEM12 video, which is also up in one of our hottest videos, actually, and you'll see that this is a fantastic watch. Good price, good quality, good capabilities, and even has an optional dock that you can get to enhance the longevity of the battery. 900 milliamp in it, 900 milliamp in the dock. Really sweet combination. We'll see you again soon, gang.